And as explorers, researchers, and storytellers continued to investigate this haunting disappearance, the mystery of Roanoke only grew deeper with every passing century, because each new clue created another unanswered question, and every theory opened another door into the unknown. Many believed the settlers faced starvation as their supplies dwindled and crops failed under the harsh Carolina sun. The wild forests surrounding the colony were filled with dangers unfamiliar to the English settlers, and some accounts suggest that the settlers formed fragile alliances with native tribes, while others claimed tensions and misunderstandings increased fear and conflict. Yet none of these explanations fully clarify why the entire colony vanished with such precision, leaving no evidence, no scattered belongings, and no remains. The dismantling of the settlement looked too organized to be an attack, too calm to be panic, and too strategic to be random, which fueled the belief that the colonists made a conscious decision to relocate. But where they went and why they left remains one of the most baffling riddles in American history. Some researchers point to the Croatoan island believed to be the possible destination, hinted by the carved word, but excavations on Hatteras Island produced only fragments of artifacts. Nothing large enough to confirm the fate of over 100 settlers. Still many cling to this theory, because it is one of the few that offers hope that the colonists survived by joining local tribes and adapting to their way of life. Oral histories from several native groups even mention pale-skinned people appearing in their communities, but none of these stories provide definitive proof, and the mystery continues to drift through time like a ghost of the past. Other investigators believe the settlers encountered a deadly epidemic, one that spread quickly and forced them to abandon their homes in search of safety far from the infected settlement. However, no records or remains suggest a widespread disease, and again, the careful dismantling of the village goes against the panic that a plague would normally create. Then there are the darker theories, the ones that capture imaginations and fuel legends, theories of supernatural forces, ancient curses, and unexplained disappearances that still chill the minds of those who study the case. Some suggest that the land itself held secrets known to the native people. Secrets the settlers ignored in their desperation to survive, leading them into dangers beyond the natural world. Tales of spirits that guard the wilderness and punish those who trespass are whispered in local folklore. And though these stories have no historical proof, they prey on the imagination because the truth remains so elusive. Another theory proposes that the colonists attempted to sail back to England on their own, but lacked the skill and resources to survive the ocean journey. Their makeshift attempt may have ended in tragedy, leaving no survivors and no evidence. But historians argue that if such an attempt occurred, the settlers would not have dismantled their homes so neatly, nor left behind the mysterious inscription that remains their only message to the future. The carved word Croatoan follows researchers like a shadow, refusing to reveal its meaning. Some say it was a clue. Some say it was a location, and others believe it was a desperate warning, carved in the final moments before something unimaginable occurred. Yet the word stands alone, carved into history with no explanation and no follow-up message to guide investigators through the centuries. The mystery draws people because it is incomplete, because it refuses closure, and because it reminds us how fragile human existence can be when faced with the unknown. Every generation adds new theories, new discoveries, and new attempts to solve the puzzle, but the truth remains hidden, buried in time, and tangled in the forests and shores where the settlers once walked. Families disappeared without leaving footprints. Children vanished without leaving toys or clothing behind. And leaders vanished without a single written record of their struggles or final decisions. No battle, no fire, no storm, no disaster explains such a perfect erasure, and that perfection, that quietness is what terrifies and fascinates people the most. Roanoke became more than a historical mystery. It became a symbol of the unexplainable, a reminder that even in a world filled with documentation, technology, and science, some stories slip between the cracks of time and vanish into silence. Modern researchers use satellite scans, ground-penetrating radar DNA analysis, and archaeological excavations. Yet the answers remain as distant as they were in 1600, and every new discovery only deepens the darkness surrounding the lost colony. The settlers carried dreams, hopes, fears, and determination across the ocean. They risked everything to build a new world, but instead their fate became the oldest unsolved disappearance in American history. A shade.